Hi, I'm Blaine Davies. Today, most Americans turn to news sources aligned with their political beliefs. But in the 1960s and 70s, many Americans, Democrats and Republicans, tuned in to Walter Cronkite and the CBS Evening News because they trusted Cronkite to provide them with an unbiased report of the news. Cronkite first came to prominence as a war correspondent for UPI in World War II, reporting from the battlefields of North Africa and Western Europe. Beginning with Harry Truman, he knew and generally respected the presidents, though his coverage of Watergate helped convince the American people and ultimately Richard Nixon himself that he should resign. He covered the U.S. space program, the Vietnam War, civil rights, and assassinations, and won Emmy Awards in the process. Please join me Monday, November 10th at 10 a.m. at Oasis at Grossmont Center in La Mesa. We will explore the life of Walter Cronkite, who witnessed much of the major events of the 20th century firsthand, and with his generally unbiased coverage of the news became known as the most trusted man in America.
Hello. Do you think we actually descended from your relatives? Or do you think we were created by God? I'm insulted that Charles Darwin said we do not have the intellectual powers of you, people. But I'm also really offended that the Bible in Kings says that we are trade items along with silver, gold, ivory, and peacocks. This is crazy. Join me for talk number 2558, the creation versus evolution controversy, which will be held on November 12th at 10 o'clock in the morning at the Rancho Bernardo Oasis Center. And we'll cover what this ape has a problem with, and that is, did human beings come about through evolution or through creation? We'll discuss religion and science and discuss the Bible and the origin of species. So see you then. Bye-bye.
Hello, I'm Robert Givens, a retired professor of history. My course, The End of the Soviet Union, on Thursday, November 13th at 1 o'clock, will discuss a surprising development, the disintegration of the USSR. I will consider the ideology, politics, economy, and foreign policy of the Soviet Union.
Hello, I'm historian Vincent Rossi. Join me as I examine the forgotten service, the United States Merchant Marine, which formed the backbone of the movement of people and cargo across the rivers, lakes, and oceans of this nation and the world, and whose Liberty ships helped win World War II on Wednesday, November the 12th at 10 a.m. at Oasis La Mesa Lifelong Learning Center.
Hi, I'm Blaine Davies. 3 years ago, I traversed the Panama Canal, and it inspired me to learn more about how the canal was actually built. At the turn of the 20th century, Teddy Roosevelt and the United States tackled one of the most ambitious engineering projects in human history. In doing so, the Americans built the canal the French started, but failed to complete. The United States constructed an aquatic path that connected the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans across the newly created nation of Panama. To do it, the Americans conquered disease, moved massive amounts of earth, built an ingenious system of locks, and even created a massive artificial lake. To secure the right to build the canal, the Americans supported a coup that created the independent nation of Panama. The new Panamanian government quickly approved a treaty that granted permission for the Americans to build the canal after the Colombian government stalled, hoping for better terms. Beginning with the French attempt in the late 19th century, we will discuss step by step how the canal was financed, engineered, and built. Please join me Wednesday, November 12th at 1 p.m. for this free lecture at the Point Loma Hervey Library at 3701 Voltaire Street in San Diego. Together, we will relive the dramatic events that created what David McCullough called the path between the seas.
Are you an adventurous eater? Do you like trying new recipes? Then join me, Tanya Lehman, on Thursday, November 13th from 10 a.m. to 12 noon for 7 Continent Cooking, the South American edition. It's a potluck. Make something from South America at home and then bring it in. We will have trivia about South America and then we will eat and share our recipes. See you then.